it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I've got a variation on a theme. Over in one of the team Facebook groups, we have a challenge going on, and it's for a sketch. And this is my interpretation of the sketch. This uses the Best Route suite, which is on page... is that it? Yes. Page 52 and 53. Yep. I used the Designer Series paper, the washi tape, and the stamp set. And I did it all on Mango Melody as the card base, which is in the card pack. So when you know, you can get card packs with the suite, and this was a from that card pack. And then I've just added this tiny weeny strip of glimmer paper because the sketch called for a really thin line, but it was hanging off the sides, and I thought, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, so I used glimmer paper. I have to say, this is an interpretation of the sketch. There is actually supposed to be a sentiment here, but it just didn't seem to work for me, so I didn't do it. So I'm going to be using, for my next one, the Tea Room Suite. This is gorgeous. I love it a lot. It's all based around really vibrant colours, but treated in a kind of soft way, with hints of copper. So this is the Designer Series paper. Now it's specialty Designer Series paper because it's a thinner weight, which means you get twice the amount. So these are the papers. It's Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Very Vanilla, and Coastal Cabana and Rich Raspberry. Did I say Old Olive? And Old Olive. But it is gorgeous. I just love it. This one in particular I think would work with white as well as vanilla. I think a number of them would, but it is obviously a predominantly vanilla base. But as I say, there are some sheets that you could use with white, and in fact the card pack, the Memories and More card pack, is there's a lot of white in there, so that kind of follows that through. So I am, however, going to use Very Vanilla. So with that as our inspiration, or our, you know, thing to work from, I have cut a piece of the paper, and it's this pattern on the back, at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Just going to fold my card base because that's always a good place to start. I had my bone folder just now, and knowing my luck, oh, I put it away. No wonder I can't find it. So there we go. So that's where I'm starting. I'm going to grab my snail. I do like, generally speaking, to use the multi-purpose liquid adhesive. However, on this very lightweight paper, I would just be a little bit concerned that it might crinkle the paper. So for this, I'm going to use the snail. Hopefully I can pull that up because it's in the wrong place. Bear with me. Yep. Fortunately, I hadn't pushed it down fully. I have to say, this is one reason why I like the liquid adhesive, because it gives you wiggle room. No, I'm still not in the right place. Let's just... yeah, no, I've got it the right size. I'm just putting it in the wrong place. Right, let's do it this way. I'm now concentrating so hard I'm going to make a complete cod's dinner of it. You'd think sticking a piece of paper down would be easier than this. So you can see why I would normally use liquid adhesive. Because that's still not brilliant, but it's fine. It'll do. It's perfect. That's fine. Right, so I've got a piece of the predominantly Calypso Coral cut at 2 inches square. And this I'm going to put just at a bit of a jaunty angle on my card base. Ooh, no, no, I need to put the ribbon down first, don't I? Right, 2 pieces of the ombre ribbon, the Calypso Coral ombre ribbon. I'm just going to neaten up that end a wee bit. She says, not now able to find her scissors because I popped my catalogue on top of it. If you could see the state of my room at the moment, it's frightening. I'm just going to add a little bit of the adhesive to that, and I want one piece kind of towards the left, and then the other piece kind of towards the right. And oops, I'm not too worried about the middle being stuck because I'm going to cover that with other things. So that then goes there, and then I've got a teeny weeny piece of the copper foil. I'm just going to rub that to get that adhesive off because it's going to catch me. Right, so I just want to rub the back of this with my bone folder to get the cut marks out, and by that I mean when you put it through your trimmer, because of the way the trimmer blade works, you do end up with a bit of a dent, particularly on the foil. So just rubbing it with the back of your bone, on the back with your bone folder, helps smooth that out a bit. So I'm just going to cut that so that it's slightly longer than the designer series paper. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive to that, because this isn't ribbon or thin designer series paper. So it can take the damp of glue and will make me happy. There we go. Right, okay, so where was I? Oh yes, here's a piece of 2x2 predominantly Calypso Coral paper. So again, adding some snail to the back of that, and pop it down at a not massive but slightly jaunty angle. And then I've got a piece of this vanilla with the Calypso Coral on it, and again add some snail, that's the word I'm looking for. This is cut at 1 3/4 square, and this I'm going to put at a jaunty angle the other way. And I know I'm using different angles, I'm doing it the other way, but that's fine. And then I'm going to use the Thank You for Being So Sweet. I was thinking of using the punch from the Delightful Label punch, the tin. Sure that's what it's called, not convinced, but hey. Anyway, but because it's meant to be a square, I've decided I'm going to cut it. So, Calypso Coral, Berry Vanilla, my stamp, and I'm using the Treat Time, which although it's not actually part of the suite, I thought it kind of worked in a way, and I'm going to use Time to Celebrate. So, Calypso Coral, and a real scrap of paper. And I'm going to try and get it square in this corner. Yay! Perfect! So I will need my trimmer, and ideally I want this to be about 1 1/4, 1 3/8 of an inch. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn the whole thing upside down. So 1 3/8 would be there, which will work. Yeah, that'll work. Oops, it'd work even better if I used my blade rather than my scoring tool. 1 3, right, so that I'm going to have to trim down a bit. And then come back in. Yep, No, not really. Not quite what I was looking for. It's about the right size, but it's not in the middle. So let's try stamping it again. And this time we'll try and do it so that it's more in the middle. I'm almost tempted to cut the card first, but that probably would be tempting Providence. Right, I'm going to leave that open on the basis that I'll probably have to do it again. Right, let's try again, shall we? Right, 1 3/8. Yeah, I think the basic problem might be that the stamp is not quite square. As in, I think it's wider than it is tall. So let's trim that a bit and see if I can get it to be 1 3/8 and sort of square. Yes! Marvellous. Love it when a plan comes together eventually. Right, move that, and grab my dimensionals, and we're pretty close to being finished. Let's get rid of all these scrappy scraps and grab my dimensionals. Probably only need a couple or 3. And then, and I might actually add some enamel shapes, because I've just realised something. I have. Right, so this I actually want to be sort of, you know, as near square to the background as possible, so that it is straight. Right, enamel shapes. So, Coastal Cabana. And also I can add some of the best fruit to the other ones, because I forgot I had them. So, my nice new hasn't yet been dropped on the floor piercing tool. Of course, now the sun comes out. Okay. However, I'm just going to pop some of these around my should I put a big one? Let's put a medium-sized one just there. I do like 3s and I do like triangles, so let's bring this back in and can't decide which one to... Actually, I might go for stars. Don't you love the way my brain just doesn't work properly? Right, yeah, stars. So, these are the Melamango stars. And the last one. Up there. Excellent. I feel happier with that. Right, so apart from the fact we've now got blazing sunshine, so you may not be able to see it properly, there we are. I hope you enjoyed my madness for another go. Thank you very much indeed for bearing with me. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I keep seeing what's not straight now. It's going to do my head in. I'll probably have to end up making it again just so that I get everything straight. Anyhow, if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. As you can see, we've got some sunshine in Oxfordshire at the moment. Not quite as hot as it has been. If you would like any of the products, please hop over to my online store, which is linked below. There is the bonus days running at the moment, so for every £45 you spend in August, you get a voucher for £4.50 that you can spend in September. Even if you only get one, I look at that as it covering your postage charge for September, which is never a bad thing, particularly as we've got the new autumn-winter catalogue coming out, which I am only allowed to show you the front cover of at the moment. So, so yes, September you're going to want to have some discount so that you can spend some money on what's in the autumn-winter catalogue, which is gorgeous. Do remember that I also do sunflower rewards, so for every £30 you spend online using my host code, you get a sunflower reward, and when you've got 10, you get to spend £30 with me, free. So all good stuff. And remember that both that and the bonus days are multiples. So if you've spent £90, you get 3 sunflower rewards and 2 bonus vouchers, bonus days vouchers. So all good stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Sorry about the waffle, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!